Today we're going on an adventure. Today we're attempting NEStroid. The beloved classic. The suffering, the pain. I played this once for a, I don't know, total of maybe 20 minutes after we beat Zero Mission. We're here to try it again. We've got map cam ready to go right above me, and I don't know what else to say. Oh, maybe I will point out that I am dressed up as Justin Bailey. I should read this intro screen too. Zebes, forever reminding me that I pronounced Zebes wrong. Yonkai, being excited is what gaming's all about. Hi, welcome. Emergency order, defeat the Metroid of the planet Zebes and destroy the Mother Brain, the mechanical life vein, Galaxy Federal Police, MS-10. Okay. I think that's it. And just this awesome, amazing music. When do we put in the password? Second take. Yes! Let's do this. And then this. Start. Yay! How did I do? Oh, no green hair though. We'll live. I'm just pumped. Okay, so the rules for today's playthrough. What rules do we have? We're allowing save states. We're allowing... I don't know. I'm not playing on Switch. I was thinking about playing on Switch because then it lets you do the rewind thing. I don't know if I would allow that. Immersion ruined. Interesting. Yeah, is that probably because it's the Zero Mission one? Or maybe because they know that I'm trying to be sneaky with this password? I guess I just have to beat it in under a certain time. This blue is so familiar to when we played Metroid 2. Alright. I'll scoot that down. How big should I make these blocks? Probably pretty small considering what happened last time. So let's just say S for start. It's so tiny. That's as far as I can zoom this camera though. Safe word on green hair? Yeah, sure. Prescient, welcome in. Prescient, I finally watched Primer. It was good. I know why the hair's not green. Green hair comes with Varia suit. Oh, thanks. Yeah, that's cool. 30 hits. I know. So our health is gonna be miserable to start, right? Oh, we're already gonna die to this enemy. Well, rip. The fanfare is so different. Should I already pause? This is gonna be rough if I have to pause every 2 seconds. Okay, this was where Morph was. Any secrets in here? Morph looks weird when we're not in our armor. Energy drop. I remember these. I think I just ran away last time. Oh, but they explode on you. Go, 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 go. Oh, I think I still... Okay. Various suit spoilers, yeah. Primer definitely needed more watches for me to understand. I get some of it. I'll have to watch it again. I would like to watch it again to get fully what I missed. Okay. We go to the right and there's a door. The map writing skills are back in action. We can't crouch. I remember this. I don't like that we can't crouch. 8-bit, welcome in. How's it going? And we can't shoot down. Just 3 ways to shoot. Okay. This goes down below and we're going to the right. Actually, I should make this not connected there. I've been unsure what game to play since I beat Dread a couple weeks ago. I finally decided. Nice. What's it gonna be? Oh god. We're not fast enough. We're already dead. We made it so much further last time I played this. Gimme health! Subnautica? Nice. That'll be fun. Why can't Metroid crawl? We're off to a very rough start. Oh, 1 health. I feel like we should just start over anyways. If I restart, am I gonna have to put in the password every time? Oh, I loved when you all were putting like the original enemy art in the Discord too. That was really cool. Oh, there's a zoomer right there, whatever they're called. 1 energy in a dream. Save progress. No. If we start, it's like 1 death down and then we go back to the start with this password? Or do I have to use this new one they gave me? Ugh, we'll get used to it. I have extra spot at the bottom of my notebook for passwords. Okay. Save. I don't know if I want to or care to save. It takes me all the way back to 0 mission every time? Oh no. Yeah, we're gonna have to do save states. And now I want this one. Which we never got above 30 energy in this file. So much concentration just for putting in the password correctly. XW0. Oh, I didn't pay attention if it was the letter or the number. Semi, welcome in. New password includes game age. Hey, Nobe, welcome in. There's one with quality of life improvements. Yeah. Also polite password, please. Yeah, we're doing it old school, but I'm a little nervous now about... I feel like we're just gonna have to start over and do save states, but I messed up the first password. Okay. Now I need to do this. Oh, it's not stopping while I put this in. Oh, but we're safe. Yay! The password is just the suit, yeah. $35 energy, so generous. I love her little run. I don't have the pink boots. I wish I had the pink boots. But I do have boots. Closed caption says dirty 5 energy. Okay, okay, we're back in it. I'm sorry for the delay. We can do this. I don't know the best way to get through here. Because I can't crouch. But I don't think this enemy will come back if I don't go over there. Right? Oh god. Okay, we made it to this thing. We went all the way over, and then we made it to a room that kind of looks like this. It's a Looney Tunes run, yeah. Appreciate commitment to testing patience. Look, this was something that we tried one time, just as kind of a, okay, cool, we beat Zero mission, let's give it a go. But now we're here. I'm determined to give it an honest shot. I believe. Now that we've done Metroid 2, I believe. I feel like we needed that other area. Oh god. We made it to this hallway before one time. Oh, I hate that you're too tall to shoot anything. It goes over everything's head. 2 whole frames of run animation. Love it. This goes up and up and up forever. I don't know how many blocks I should draw this as. The climb. Oh, I need that. How do I get that without... I don't think there's any way to pick stuff like that up. You have to kill enemies in a better spot. I know it's common to trash the game for being dated, but personally I think it's leagues more playable than Metroid 2. Really? Interesting. Because see, I ended up really liking Metroid 2. I have a friend who calls the vertical sections tallways. Oh, that's so smart. I love it. I end up calling them hallways all the time. You died in a good spot. Metroid 2 is so zoomed in. Oh, true. Yeah, we get a better zoom angle. Or field of view. Da-na-na-na-na-na-na-na-na. I know my voice isn't synced to the music in the playback, but I'm enjoying the music. Every area is the climb. Yeah, apparently. I enjoyed this one a bit more. I don't like it. Metroid should be small. Scott, welcome in. Thank you. We're rocking the retro Samus cosplay today. I hope you're doing good. It's good to see you. Okay, that was a pretty good jumpy move I did there. Now we're way up here in this tall, tall tower. Oh, I moved map cam up too high. And we've got the possibility of going to the right. Or we can keep going up. Maybe let's see what's above us. SR388 is cramped and Zebes is a death trap, yeah. Could be highways, yeah. The good old NES, you get smooth scrolling either up and down, left, right, but not without graphical glitches, yeah. That's okay. I don't think this hurts me from here. I don't really feel like it's a good idea to test it, though. Did you already beat this before? No, I've never beaten this game. This is farther than I've ever gotten before in this game. And it goes on forever. Now there's a door up here. I'm gonna move this hallway down for, I don't know. This map is not to scale. This whole little table shakes when I do that, but such is life. The cosplay creates extra incentive to make it to Varia suit. Seriously, we gotta. Ugh. Pow, 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 pow. Give me health. Yeah. Back to 33. Oh, God. Is this the top of this room yet? This is your PB? It's a memory buffer constraint of the NES. It's great to see clever compromise people come up with full support to 2D scrolling. Please forgive the crudity of this model. I didn't have time to paint it or build it to scale. I recently learned you can follow categories. Yeah! I follow, although I don't know that it helps my algorithm or not. I think the only things I follow are like Outer Wilds and Outer Wilds. I used to follow Chrono Cross, but I didn't find myself like seeking out Chrono Cross streams very often. I would just stumble upon them and I would hang out when I found them. I used to follow everything, but not enough people play it, and when people are playing it, the streams are generally like, what is this game? This is terrible. I don't think I follow any Metroid games on Twitch as a category, no. Okay, let's start at the top. Let's make a save state. Beep, beep, beep. Forgive me. I'm gonna keep number 1 as our go-to, like, beginning of the game, but then we'll use 2 for everything else. How does that sound? Keiko, welcome in. How's it going? Justin Bailey is playing. Oops. Oh god. NEStroid. No! I need to... Oh. I need to do something else with my stream layout. I'm gonna be not looking to the side so much today. I think I'm gonna put the game right here. Because... Does this mess up OBS? Did that change the window size? Yeah, it looks bizarre. No. What does 1x do? Ooh, looks terrible. I think this is what I want. Sorry. I can turn the sound back on. Zebes Quake, yeah. We want game capture, and I just want to move it over a bit and make sure we're not missing anything. I think we're good. Okay. Sorry for the interruption. I have the curse of playing games that are both alive and dead at the same time. That's how you ended up here? Really, Scott? Just by searching a Metroid category. Playing a zero-suited code or something you put in? Yep. Well, it's an unlockable achievement normally, but for today, because of the cosplay, we put it in. Oh, this looks terrible. Do any of you drop health? I'm trapped here until I figure out how to do this better. No, you're so smart. Oh god, immediate death. Good thing this is the first time I've ever been in this room. I don't know that this is our go-to spot right now then. Leave me alone. Oops. No! Oh god. Bug hell. Normally I like refillables. Oh, and I can't go through this door yet. Okay, that's alright. Here we went through a long hallway of bug hell, and we got to a door I can't open yet. I was like, what games do I like? Metroid. And here I was. If I cosplay Waluigi, will they add him to Smash? Oh, if only. If you cosplay Samus, the game changes your sprite. Oh, there we go. I see. Revolutionary technology, indeed. Oh, yeah. Oh, I want this. No, it wasn't worth it! At what cost? This is gonna be a fun playthrough. Okay, but look, we know that we don't want this room, so it's fine. I got so excited that I killed that enemy. I got greedy. No, it doesn't change our abilities. I think if you unlock it for real, I was told, it does change your abilities if you do the special achievement. Okay, sorry. I completely lost all train of thought. Oh, Tefu, welcome in. How's it going? We're trying this again. Oh, yes. Adjust where I'm falling so I fall directly on the enemy. Yes, yes. How are you supposed to fall through here? Oh, no health. No health. Because the camera doesn't move down, does it? Okay, let's try this door this time. Now we're right here. Forgot you said this is happening today. Yeah, it is. We'll see how far we get. It changes your confidence. Oh, I see, I see. Do you think Samus has dyed her hair green as soon as she got out of Adam's squad? Like a rebellious thing? Maybe. New music! Okay, we're in here. I don't really need to draw a new spot on the map. Yeah, stay down there. Feel free to let me know which enemies are which, too. I do not mind sharing enemy names. I know we love recapping the original NEStroid manual of beasts. You can't do this one either. I missed missiles. Why did I go right by them? I need them. Space Platypus, welcome back. So glad Mapcam is making a return. Yeah. There's a password I can't say because it has English curse words, but basically breaks the game. Oh, nice. What were your final thoughts on Dread? I really liked it a lot. I mean, my opinions haven't changed from beating it that much. I don't think that I can fight that thing. There we go. Which is that the controls were just really hard for me to get used to. But it didn't make me like the game any less overall. And I was saying after we beat it, like, there weren't any times when I put the game down and was like, I don't know if I'm ever gonna come back to this. Which we've done that for a lot of other favorite games on the channel. And I come back to it and I finish the thing and we move on. But, yeah, Dread was really cool. Oh god, I didn't mean to do that. I'm proud of how the boss fight went. I was annoyed at the, like, quick time event at the end because I feel like the whole game, they pretty much give you all the... They give you a button prompt for the melee counter constantly, and it flashes and you do it and you know exactly which button to press. And then when you're doing the Omega Blaster, it's like a series of buttons to press. And then at the very end, they give you like that quick time event. Sorry, Dread stuff. If you don't want to know Dread stuff, I probably should preface that I'm spoiling some of the controls. But they give you a quick time event, and it's a button that you've never had to use for a quick time event before. And I know it's not, like, the ending, you don't use that particular weapon that I won't say the name of. It's a different weapon. So it's a different control. But I just wish they had said, oh yeah, it's a quick time, here's the button you press. But, I mean, minor complaint for, like, the overall game being really, really fun. Did I struggle with Ravenbeak? It actually went pretty well. I feel like I learned it pretty quickly. I liked it. I mean, I don't know, quickly for me. I felt like... I mean... Dread speedruns, no. Compared to other bosses in it, it was easier for me than some of the other challenges that I struggled with bosses. Dread's my top 5 games of all time. Nice. I missed the QTE. QTE. What is that? Sorry. Can't write Emmy like it's supposed to be. How do you rank the ones you played so far? We talked about it a little, and I still, like... I don't know. I feel like Super and Fusion are still up there for me because I just prefer the not analog controls and not the overwhelming amount of buttons. But then I feel like Dread would probably be next. I think I like the story better than... and the layout better than Zero Mission, which is odd, right? I don't know. QuickTime event. Oh, duh. The thing I'm talking about. Beartail, welcome in. Every boss death felt like my fault. There was always a way I could avoid it. Yeah! Emmys gave a really cool thing to the game. Usually Metroid games are slow and atmospheric, but Emmys is like a fire under your butt. Super Fusion Dread is my top 3. Oh, nice! It's the first Metroid game where I actually went for completion time bonuses. Oh, that's the thing, too, that I talked about, was Dread is maybe the first Metroid game where I was like, I'm gonna sit down and play this on the Switch, on the couch, and just hang out and explore. All the other ones I've gone back for 100%, for fun, for item hunting, like in the Discord. I forgot to draw my map. We're doing this, right? We're climbing over here. I got to talking and I forgot to draw my map. But I have not yearned for couch time with any of the Metroid games so far. But I think Dread, I would be like, yeah, let me just see how far I can get today. Okay, this went up and up and up, and then there was a door to the right. Would it maybe be helpful to make a note of wall color when it changes? Ooh, I didn't think of that. Maybe. Green. Death. Ready, wall jump. Oh, that is something that can kill me. God, your health wears down so quick. You hear the little timer going and ticking down. Oh, what do we... This is bombs, I think? We don't have those. Okay. Here, how much health can you give me if I stand here and camp your spawn? If I can get out of the way quick enough after grabbing the drop. Pew 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 pew. Oh, it's just gone now. Surge, welcome in. I watched a... Oops. A video about Varia suit design. That's cool. Oh, that was cheap. It figured out my cheap tricks. Alright, I don't know. It was a net loss overall, I think, but we had fun while we were there. God, this room sucks! Why did I come in here? Should we save state? Just in case? Yeah, probably. Okay, I need to do a drawing of this room. I don't know how to, like, show that the walls are green. I'll make the walls fuzzy. And then I'll put a B for bombs, because I think that's what we need over there. Various suit designed for Dread, and it's making me appreciate it even more. I love the Various suit in Dread. Lifelong Super Metroid lover, but I think Dread is simply the best Metroid made so far. Sorry, I'm having trouble catching up. Prime 3 is pretty close to Dread, yeah. Discord streams, when you do it, do you still do Facecam and mic? I do mic. Sometimes we do a voice chat, like a group chat. Sometimes it's just me, and then we use a text channel. But I don't do Facecam. Thought of using Excel for mapping, easier to add spaces. I don't know. Thought about it. Stubbornly prefer pen and paper. Oh. Power grip. Grab the ledge. This looks like a secret. Okay, so that's the top of that room. We'll just end it like that. Old school respect. I know I can handle it. Didn't have Excel in the 80s would be cheating. Didn't have save states either. I've tried to do Discord streams several times, can't figure it out for the life of me. Oh, yeah, I just share the game and I don't add too many bells and whistles, but it's a good time. Something authentic about using graph paper. Ace, how's it going? Welcome in. Llama, welcome in. Oh yeah, if you have the lore emote, today is the perfect time to use it. Because we are graphing and plotting all day. Oh, I did not think I hit that, but I definitely did. Okay, we can do a cheeky save in this tall way while I don't have the low health beeps. I like that I can morph to see a little bit lower on the map. That's nice. Use graph paper to plan your base in Subnautica. Nice. That's smart. Uh-oh, uh-oh, uh-oh. Panic. Okay. Yes! I wonder how much of your field of view is cut off because it's Game Boy Advance and not NES. Because it seems smaller. I was wondering about that. I think if we can handle the field of view in Metroid 2, then we can probably handle this, but it is a shame. Yes! Get used to me saying that. A lot. Okay. So we came in over here, and there's a hallway right across from us. I don't think I made a note of that. I'm just gonna be bopping to this the whole time. I wonder what other music we get. Are there other, like the classic Norfair track and Brinstar and things like this? Ooh, bubbles. Speaking of. Blue is bubbles. There's one song per area and there are like 5 areas. Classic Raid. Music in Zero Mission was pretty sparse too. I guess NEStroid isn't much better. I think I liked playing Metroid 2. One of the biggest complaints was the music for me. Wow, it's so abrupt when we pause too. And the field of view. Oh no. Oh, this is scary. I still don't have a goal of where I'm trying to get to. We're just trying to survive and explore more parts of the map to figure out where everything leads. RIP! It's fine, it's fine. Look, we're back at the start of the room. The health beeps are dramatic percussion. Yeah, definitely. Space cowbell, yeah. I like it. I'm cool with that. Angel Lord, welcome in. How's it going? Take that, Mother Brain. We have save states. No shame in save states for NEStroid. People that have this just memorized, I envy you of where all the platforms are as you're going down. Oh, I can't reach you from here. Not going too well, just found out some bad news about my cat. I'm sorry, Angel Lord. I'm sorry to hear that. That's tough. Everything was synth at the point this was released, yeah. The lone employee of a museum who is just sick tickled when someone shows up. Aw. We have a lot of NEStroid fans in here. You're not the only one, 8-bit. An innovation Axiom Verge had that I would love to see used just about everywhere was syncing the low health beats to the music. That was so good. I'm so excited to play Axiom Verge 2. That's our next Metroidvania. We are taking a break from Metroid. We've had a lot of requests. So many requests for Prime 2. So when we get back into it, I think we have to do it. But I gotta figure out GameCube controller stuff before we do that. And I just need a break from Metroid. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. Welcome in. Prime 2 was really long. Took me over 20 hours. 20 hours. I mean, sorry, not trying to shade you at all, but like, I got some shade for beating Dread in 22 hours, so I don't mind a long playthrough. 22 is not long to me either. That's the thing. We did Dread in 8 streams, and Prime took us like 10 or 11. Hollow Knight I played for 20 streams, and some of them were long, and I loved every second of it. Need to establish a Metroid month? Yeah. Pokemon in Generation 5 had a special panic music that played with low health beeps. Nice. Didn't do fill all the map bits in Dread. Must have added time. Oh yeah, we did. We got pretty close. We tried to. I still have to go back and get some more, and obviously you can't get the ones in like the ending area. We'll go in here. I feel like we've been here before. Oh, what a trap. Oh, I forgot you're supposed to like jump so those follow you up. Haha. Oh, these are awful. I'm so bad at that. Oh, missiles is right there. Okay, hang on. I'm drawing the hallway and putting the M for missiles. We know we need to get to it. No need to rush through a game until you're speedrunning it, yeah. I honestly wish timers were not a thing unless opted into, yeah. I think, like we've talked about this before, streaming adds so much time to a playthrough. And not in ways of like, I mean sometimes with chatting, oh my god. But also just, oh, immediately dies. I don't know, you're not on a focused path. It's not necessarily chatting, but you lose your train of thought and you're focusing on like alerts and stuff. Alright, death. That's fine. Gimme. Thanks for all the support for Angel Lord, Chai, Impression, and Magus. Everybody talking about cat stuff. I know that's really hard, and we like to help each other through stuff like that. I made the same exact mistake. I want to know how I need to like lure it and then... This room is such a death trap. And then run away. No. No! How did I manage to get that before? I'm gonna figure it out. Haha! This is my life now. No, you're too short. How long do these stay on screen? Not forever. This is such a mess. Ugh. I don't like this. I don't know. I haven't figured out yet whether to run or whether to hang out and fight things. Because I've been consistently at like 30 or lower health. Which is part of the whole annoyance of this game. I get it. But I keep thinking, oh, I'm gonna stick around and like try to fight something. And it just never pans out. Streamer brain, yeah. Forget what someone was saying in chat and was like, what was I talking about again? Exactly. Was gonna write next and ended up writing nest. Okay, let's see. Let's see if I can escape with these. We have 27 health. It's not the lowest I've ever been at. I talked to Ginger the other day. They've gotten into Metroid series after they started watching you play. Aw, cool. Thought it was nice the other way, not joining in because they were a Metroid fan, but becoming one thanks to the stream. I love that. I feel like that's the first person that I've heard that from. Because I do hope that people who were afraid of the series before, not saying Ginger is or was, oh hey, speaking of, but who maybe wouldn't have considered it, see me play it, and they're like, oh, I can do this. Because I think it can be a really intimidating series and fandom, and just game in general. Oh, I want to make it out of here. Oh god. So much death! But now health. And, you know, you see me play these and you're like, oh, you can get, like, you don't have to beat them first try or perfectly. You can just play them and have fun exploring and take your time, and there really are, like, calm moments in the game. The respawn patterns are unforgiving, yeah. This game especially. It's intimidating. I think we are gonna save because we have missiles and we're alive. Oh, there's more stuff to the right in that hallway. There's stuff further to the right, but I was too scared. We live and we have explodey things. Yes. Okay, and we can keep going down this hallway if we want. Hallway. It's not intimidating, gets raided by enemies. It's intimidating, but... Oh, this is the end of this hallway. Okay. Like, you all have seen what I don't like in games. Timers, stealth, or horror, because I really don't mind the stealth in Metroid at all. It doesn't feel like scary stealth. First-person shooters. I don't like to be stressed when I'm gaming, and Metroid games can be stressful, but they don't have to be. You can play them your own way. James, welcome in. How's it going? Here, let me make sure I finish the bottom of this map. Okay. So now we died in this bubble room. Can you see the map okay? I think it's a little bit high up. We died in this bubble room. I think we can't progress in this green room. And then we have missiles to go open the 2 doors over here now. Cool, cool. Hope you're doing well. How goes OG Metroid? It's tough, but I think we're getting there. We're working on it. I've never heard Tallway before. Now I can't imagine how I lived before I knew it. Yeah. There's a company called Rafnet Tech who made GameCube to USB adapters. I need, like... Oh, you're talking about for you to be able to play Prime. We need to figure out how I can do Prime 2. What is my goal now? Back up and to the left, I think. Oh, I'm glad that one didn't have health because I killed it in a terrible place. Rafnet is great. So odd, whenever I hear stealth mentioned for preferences, I'm tempted to recommend a litmus test game that's stealth focused. Okay. I think I have also a very... What is the word? Oh, look how slow it got because of all the enemies on screen. Shaded... Friend? This is directly in front of my face. I forgot that the alert like goes up when it goes off like that. Thank you so much, Bren. How are you? Happy Monday. Thanks for the coffee. It's good to see you. I appreciate the support. Welcome. Stealth. Okay, real quick. My experience of stealth sections in games are forever tainted by my childhood experiences with Dodongo's and Dodongo's Cavern. Like, that freaked me out as a kid. The guards in Ocarina of Time, just the beginning ones, the very early on guards getting into the castle to see the princess for the first time, freaked me out as a kid. Doesn't freak me out anymore. But it took me a long time to be like, okay, it's fine, they're just guards, you don't even die, they just kick you out and you start over. I can't think of stealth in Majora's Mask. I think the maze in the Deku area has one, but I wasn't into that game as a kid. And then the Gerudo guards in Ocarina, and the, what are they called in Breath of the Wild, where there's a guard section? Those are stealth minigames that I feel turn people off to stealth as a whole. Yeah! I feel like stealth doesn't work out when I'm mixed into most games. A lot of people's exposure is stealth done poorly. Ah, fair. I hope you are having one good Monday. Same to you, Bren. Move silently. Look at me moving all quietly. What is that? Song lyrics? Yiga Clan, yeah. Anxious about stealth is it's usually a one mistake failure state. Same! And I get so stressed and tense when you know you're gonna have to redo that none of your progress mattered. And that's what kept me away from retro games for a really long time. Is because you're like, why would I do this to myself if none of my progress matters? And I have to redo all of the things I worked so hard to do. This is gen logic. This is flawed, you know, my bias. Because some people are like, oh, you feel so much better when you beat it. Which is, you know, can be true. But it kept me from playing the games at all. I'm just checking the map and making sure we're still going to the right place. We are. As opposed to combat or platforming, which accounts for levels and mistakes. Yep. Wind Waker's first 2 missions are stealth. Yeah. It was my first stealth because it was so cartoony. Chant and dance for rolling a 1 on stealth check in D&D group. Oh, nice! Look at this. We're cruising. This one is gonna have a missile door at the end of it. Do I know how to use my missiles yet? I shouldn't trial and error this because then I'll run out. And I'm assuming I need all 5 of them. Okay, what is this room like when you walk through the door? Let's save here. Technical difficulties, beep! I think it's working. That was so weird. It just decided to go ahead and disconnect itself. Shrug? Alright, now this music's gonna be loud again. Apologies. Ready? Brace yourselves. Oh, that's not that bad. Yay! We're back! I'm just happy that we can play this game again. Oh, wrong type of enemy! I jumped into those. I thought they were the other type of spinny thing. I feel like I should hang out in here and get some health. Oh, maybe not. Glad you got it working again. Me too. That always makes me upset when we can't continue just because of controller reasons. Uh-oh, we've got two of them chasing me. That's probably a bad idea. Okay, now... What buttons are available to me for this? Oh, cool. It changes our hair to yellow? Yay! Yes. Yay! Chozo statue! Oh, I'm excited. Okay, let's save. Come to ruin your sphere again. I guess we'll switch to 4 just in case something goes wrong. I always say I'm gonna use like 1 save state and then we end up using all 9 somehow. We're back! I'm full of homemade bell pepper tacos. That sounds delicious. Samus is blonde? Interesting to see repercussions of NES 4-color sprite limit. Oh, yeah. Oh, for a second I thought it did it again. We're good. Okay, what did that give us? It just said L, right? What is L normally? Long beam. I actually don't know. Oh, yeah, it is. Okay. Oh, they can't climb up the door anymore. L for love. Aww, Loopy beam. When do we get Cheerios? Now we can shoot across the entire screen. I'm glad. We needed to. Ooh. We were doing good with these until we weren't. Run away! Okay. Nope, there's more. No, shoot. Oh, this one got stuck. Oh, for lasagna, yeah. Okay. We can live with this, right? Oh god. Let's go down here. Oh, now I don't have to time my... Okay. We just came out of here. This was where L beam was. Let me draw on the map really quick. This was L. And now We can go back up. There's another door above us, but we don't have enough missiles for it yet. Never put her enchanted bag of spilling between games. Don't forget to update map. We're good, I think, for now. It's hard to tell if there's other stuff that I'll be able to do in that room later. It looked a little bit suspicious. But this game, I know there's a lot of secret tiles in this game, and I don't know if I'm gonna do a good job, like, figuring out what's suspicious and what's not. Okay, we're dropping some missiles. Anybody gonna drop some health so we stop the beepy noise? No? Having your own map is a clever idea. I mean, not my idea, I just decided it would be useful for us to carry out for this game. Beep, 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 beep. We have 5 missiles. But can I survive this room? Time will tell. Thank you. Thank you, so generous. Okay. We're like saving at the beginning of every room, it's fine. Sorry, number, we cut off the beeps. Save. Don't be suspicious, don't be suspicious. Everything's coming up Justin Bailey. No more beep jam. Sorry. Oh, this is the lava room where we died. Okay, we are not Mario. I can't bop them on the head. Oh god, this is so overwhelming! How did we get through this room before? Okay, nice. No. I miss diagonal shooting a lot. Oh. No, no, no! This room is terrible. I'm impatient. I need to slow down. These don't slow down. These run right past. Okay, if I snag this health, it's gonna respawn right below me. NEStroids refill enemies do more harm than good. They really do. See, they set you up for immediate death. No. And they're too tall. Or whatever. I'm not used to them not being at beam height. It's fine. We don't have to do this room right now either. We can go back for more health and do this room later. We can do it. I don't know. I want to wait for this enemy to get closer before I kill it. If I can. No. Okay, there we go. I was like, I don't actually want to pick up that health. Because we just get ambushed. Go. Go, 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 go! Yeah, 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 yeah! Woohoo! Yeah! Woohoo! Save, save, save! We did it! Okay. Nice. What's in here? Oh. Oh, we don't need to be here yet. I watched somebody shared, I mean, you all have shared lots of really good Metroid videos to the Discord, but one of the YouTube videos was like someone that got soft locked underneath the ledge if I step down and like morph onto that ledge. Okay, but I do need to update my map, so this is fine. We went all across this lava room, and now we know that the statues live here. I don't know. Statues. Cool. So, do we give new... Oh, don't get soft locked, Jen. New boss names to these statues? Who are these enemies? Do I know them? They look very different. They've gotten a glow up. Unknown beings. Who is this? This looks like a hedgehog to me. And this looks like Professor Farnsworth with a bird beak. No, safe word, you can tell me who they are. Those are my guesses. Oh, what is this? Kraid and this is Ridley over here, or Fantoon? It's Kraid and Ridley. I would assume it would be Kraid and Ridley. And if I had to guess of the two, the one on the top is Ridley, and this is, I guess, Kraid the Hedgehog. Sonic and Falco. They really grew up for Super... Are they this small? Because there's a sprite limit for NES. I mean, there's sprite limits for everything, but because this is the sprite limit... Yeah, okay. No, we've talked about that before, I'm pretty sure. That's rad. So now I did all this work and I have to walk back through this room, but that's okay, because I proved to myself that I could do it. And that I'm learning things. I'm proud. The right one is Bowser. Yeah, I kind of got Bowser vibes. Bowser the Hedgehog. Oops, face the other way, please. 47 health? Oh my gosh. That's why Super has mini Kraid. Oh, yeah. Oh, this is a bad spot to be in. No, Jen! Aww. Rude. This hallway of death. No. Something drop health! No! Oh, that thing did. We have 4 health. Oh, I didn't jump in time. Oh, I saw it too late. It's okay. We're just gonna have to go outside that door again. Kraid the Hedgehog and Professor Ridley Farnsworth, yeah. All the enemies were assigned following hallways endgame stuff. Well, now I know. This room is brutal. I should have saved when we had 47 health and I was bragging about it. $32 is still pretty good. Oh, this thing is in the perfect wrong spot. Okay, I'm grabbing this. Nice, nice, nice. Okay, run, 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 run. And there's gonna be one on the ground. Okay, we can handle it. We got this. Dark Lord has a go and welcome in. Should see the art in the manual. I know. I need to. Here we go. There's a sprite for Zero Suit Samus and Dread. I wonder if it's for DLC or something. Oh, interesting. That's kind of cool. So now, where are we going? Back here? We don't have bombs, so maybe back to the bubble hallway or the missiles hallway. Which the bubble hallway is down from where we are. Down and to the right. No, put myself in a bad spot. Okay. DLC for a Metroid game would be weird. We just never known this DLC. What is it? You mean other games get this all the time? You see a model when you get an Emmy death, yeah. Or a non-Emmy death. Yeah. Oh, whoops. Faceplant. This is the room we want. Okay. I just need to go to the right, yeah. Bubbles. We attempted this room briefly, and I think we died in the lava, which is not a surprise. I killed something. 51 health. It's gonna go away quick, but hey. Exciting for now. Ooh. The way those move always ends up throwing me off, even though it shouldn't. Okay, now I need to add to the map. Let me pause really quick. I'm just gonna do a little transition room. Keep going. These are all non-missile doors. NEStroid fun fact, when it released in Japan, it was on Famicom disk system. It didn't use passwords. It saved to the floppy disk. It also had a couple extra sound channels for richer music. Famicoms are cool. Thank you, llama. And save. How do you get through this tiny hallway with these? It's kind of rude. I don't know. They do this nice, like, sinking and rising wave thing. But I cannot seem to get used to it. Oh. Boo! How dare you be off screen where I can't figure out what your intentions are. Okay, we survived to another bubble room of death. Oops. I need to update my map, though. Nope. Oh god. Okay. This is another bubble room of death. I feel like I should have turned the paper to be long ways. Why did I do it like this? I don't know. And then there's another transition room. And then we go to the right again. Deer in headlight, yeah. Photos taken moments before disaster, yeah, it's okay. How are you supposed to... I'll take it. Mm-hmm. 71 health? I think that's the most health I've ever had. Brilliant. Ah, 76 health? Should be illegal. I'm afraid to go over to the right. No! So afraid that I jumped right into lava. Jen. Okay, it's fine. We have more health now. You get like stuck down there. Oh, but there's not one in here? Why? Oh god! It's so tricky! It's so finicky. Alright, I guess we'll go to the right if I survive. Oh... What's... Oh god. Ah! Let me have it! Now, do these refill you? Yes! So hype! That was so worth it. Okay, this hallway keeps going. Let's save. Look at all that health. That's the most I've ever known. Yes. Huge success. Yeah. Oh, man. I need to... Okay, hang on, friends. You know what we're gonna do? Is tear this page out of the graph paper book. Oh, I can't. Oh, there we go. Because it keeps getting pushed up too high, and I don't have room to move the table, like, at all. So, we're gonna do this for now. Oh, sorry, it went out of focus. Okay, we're good. That's much better. Yes. Being able to survive more than one hit. I know, I'm so happy. I'm paralyzed. What do I do? More bubbles. I can take anything now. I'm ready. Immediately falls in lava. Okay, that wasn't my fault though. What are those green enemies called? Or we've seen them a million times before, but not in this game. In other games. Oh. Rip. I hate the way that feels when you fall. It's like I don't know if it's all in my head or if it's like a weird sandpit thing. They're called waivers? Okay, I couldn't remember. was watching YouTuber on his first play of Super Metroid, and after a puzzle he said, "Did I just do that for an energy tank?" And everyone in the comments was like, "What?" Yeah, you want those. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe not. Maybe they're just too OP. We've come so far! I'm gonna run out of room. Okay, no, because this is a vertical, this is a golden room, which the golden I think I'm just doing, the gold and the plain blue, I don't have a special pencil drawing for those colors. Look, I am so glad I'm playing this. I know we're saving way too often, but I'm not trying to shortchange anyone who played it the hard way. Mad respect. I wouldn't be able to do it. I know my limits. With Dread and quarter energy tank puzzles, that was my first reaction. True. That was a little bit eh. Just a quarter? Okay. Yeah. So after we get through a bunch of this map, we're gonna have to go back and find where all the secrets are, but we're not locked into place yet. Like, we're not out of places to explore. Okay, here's a door. The more difficult puzzle, the more likely the prize is a missile tank. Seriously. It's not even a joke. Oh, okay, ice beam? Right? Or high jump boots? Ice question mark? Having played Zelda, quarter energy tanks are not terrible, yeah. Thought it was interesting to see them, but I would have appreciated adding a max of 25 each. Yeah. Okay. We want this. This is a blue room. Ha! Got you! Cabbage, thank you so much for the sub. Thank you for tier 3 sub. Thank you for 19 months. Enjoy your Earth Badge, your rainbow of emotes, your ad-free viewing. We're so glad to have you. Thank you for the support. Happy Monday. I hope you're doing well. Energy parts in Dread feels experimental. Yeah, well, we do like experimental. They tried a new thing. And honestly, am I glad it was energy parts and not another missile pack? Kind of. Add some variety, shake things up a little bit. Okay, well. They go so low and then I can't shoot at them anymore. There we go. Nice. I feel like I should save again. This room is very long. Oh, so many of you. Oh, okay, missile door time. We went all the way over to the left. Missile door. Yep. You end up with so many missiles, the amount you get per upgrade feels irrelevant. You have a lot. Oh, thank you for the hydrate, James. I missed that. Sorry. And thank you, Zara, for the human kindness. Sending human kindness from me to you, to all of chat, to everyone here. Thank you for watching. Thank you for spending time with me, for lurking. You make the community so cool and fun to hang out with. I love all the hype and the nostalgia. But I really hope you have a great week, that Monday treated you well and giving you energy. I believe in you to get through the rest of the week. Thank you, Zara. Missiles were pretty lackluster. I hear people complaining about energy parts, but have yet to hear the 2 sizes of missile tank. Yeah, the missile tanks having, like, the 2 and the 10 was odd. It was kind of odd. I don't know. I didn't feel any particular way about it. Community is one of my favorites to hang out with. I'm glad, James. It's good to have you in here. Let's do this. Time to go blonde, yeah. Ooh. What is it? Bombs? They make such a... Do they damage me? They make such a cute noise. Wait, does this room... Okay, hang on. I need to save again. I know. Is there gonna be a bombable thing immediately? Bidoop. Bidoop, bidoop. You can drop how many? 3? They don't damage me. Good. We got tomatoes! Taylor, how's it going? Welcome in. The 2 missile pickups still felt good, but I would have grumbled if it had been collect 4 and then you get 10. Yeah. I liked a new plus 10. Usually those were locked behind harder puzzles, so a little bigger reward. I did like the plus 10 occasionally sprinkled in. The 2 just felt weird, but yeah. We can damage lower enemies! We can damage the short enemies now. Yes. Oh, let me add this to the map. Okay, this was bombs, and I have 1 spot marked here that I think I want to go back to use bombs and see if that's what we were missing. Actually, I think that's the only thing I can do. I can go that way, and then this missile hallway where we picked up our missiles. I don't know what's past it. I think you can keep going, and I just turned around. And then this we can go through. We can go down here now. Because I think bombs locked us out of that hallway. Or they didn't, and I just never figured it out. Huh. Yes. Okay, good progress. Yes. Yes. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. You can finally deal with the buggers that crawl around on the floors. Yep. Oop. This is kind of gruesome. It's gonna take some getting used to when I've just been waiting until they crawl on something at gun height, but I like it. Pew pew pew. Oh, look at all that health. We're getting good at this. So much energy! Look at that! What a great way to clear that room. I love when these get stuck on the door. Okay. Now, let's go... Yeah, back down and to the left is the only thing we can do. Justin Bailey is a big fan of this track, I think. Justin. Our dear friend. What's the best way to get back over there? I guess just drop down here. Lava room. Horrifying. But this was worth it because we got an E-tank. Should we go to... I'm wondering if we should go down here where this hallway was and just check it out since we're over here before we go back. Right? Let's like go give it a look. Just take a peek. Justin is Metroid and Samus's best friend. Yeah. Metroid games have so many bangers. Ooh, oh, that was close. I feel like Super and Prime have my favorite music by far. Nice. Okay, good. Prime 1 menu music slaps so hard. Phendrana Drifts, exactly. Phendrana Drifts and Talent 4. Yamamoto did Super and Prime 1. There you go. Tanaka did NEStroid. And is this track similar to the Metroid 2 track or no? Oops. Oh well. Too many enemies on screen! Let's get out of here. It's been 19 years since Fusion. Mm-hmm. 6 years between Super and Prime. Yeah, time's wild. I wonder if any of these spots are bombable on this bridge, but why would I want to go down into the lava? That seems like a bad idea. Just got the Discord ping on mobile. Nice. Just in time for stream. Only an hour and 48 minutes late. Well, no, an hour and 46. I don't do the ping until after I hit go live. And it gives the API a second to register that, yes, this is a streamer with a Twitch bio who is live now, so we can attach the thumbnail to Discord. Pew 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 pew. Okay. Now we're gonna go... keep going left. We're not to the main tallway yet. Oh, rude. I want so badly to, like, stand in one place and shoot waivers from far away, and it's just not the strategy that works with them. But I want it to, and if I want it to hard enough, it should let me. Metroid games tell the story of John Metroid's quest to collect items from chorizo statues, please. John Metroid. Okay, now we want to drop... Oops, I almost landed on that guy. Drop down and go to the right. Ah. I know, I have bombs, but I can also just avoid all these enemies because we know how to. Oops. Okay. Is this considered, like, is Samus floaty in this game? I feel like we're very floaty, but it doesn't feel as floaty anymore because I'm used to it and we've played other floaty games. It's not the worst thing I've ever felt. If you can believe it. Okay, let's pause. We're here now. We're in the hallway where we want to be. Feels kind of weird you can't crouch in a Metroid game. Shows how well crouching fits Metroid games. Yeah, I know. I wish we could. Brinstar centers around G major, shifting to B flat major, whereas Metroid 2 Tunnel is more about staying in F Mixolydian with some sus4 flavoring. Both are optimistic and heroic. Very. Looks like a difficult room. Reward better be nice. We'll see. Reminds me of a comic of Super Metroid where someone put a self-insert of a really manly North American man who rescued Samus, really breaking the flow of the real story. No. This room, we know this room is difficult. We already did this room. I'm just checking to see if I missed some secret where the missile pickup was. Not secret. I wasn't thorough in seeing where the end of the map was because we got our prize and left. Oh, come on. I thought that was surely at gun height. Ugh. Getting annihilated. Okay, I want that. Oh, you didn't drop anything. You didn't drop anything. Let's get out of there. Aha! A door! So this keeps going after the missiles, and then there's a door. Mom, the human is here. Hi, Mom. Welcome in. That's what I sound like when I explain computer stuff to people. To be fair, Houston was a bumbling fool who happened to insist on following Samus. Should we save here? Oh, elevator? Oh, I don't think I want this yet. This is cool, though. That's my elevator symbol. I know it's really tiny. If I pick this up, does it focus for you so that you can see it better? Ooh. Yeah, it does a little bit. The call of the descent. Do we want to go back to this room first, though? That's what I'm thinking. You don't need to answer that. Or do we just go for it and go down the elevator? Metroid stages in Super Smash Bros. 64 and Melee were based on NEStroid. Cool. Miles, welcome in. How's it going? Houston, we should put some screenshots in Discord for the cringe. Do it. New area would be exciting. Alright, we can do it. Have to go to sleep now. Have a great rest of stream. Thank you, Zara. Thank you for thanking the mods. I appreciate you. Have a good sleep. We'll see you around. I'm gonna have a quick drink of seltzer before we go down the elevator. And we're right at like the 2-hour mark of stream. Do we want to break now too? Decisions. Doing good, was sick over the weekend. I'm sorry. I'm glad you're doing better now. I'm doing great. We're actually making progress in NEStroid. I didn't think I was capable of it, but once we got that E-Tank, stuff started to really pick up, which is cool. I feel pretty good about it. We're doing this solely based on the fact... Do you have Spring Ball? Did I check? You don't have Spring Ball. Solely based on the fact there's that one elevator room in Super where you bomb things. Save states diminish after acquiring E-Tank. Yeah, some... I'm still using them pretty heavily, but meh, it's okay. I'm gonna use one here. Let's go down and look at it, and then we can take our stream break. Do we need... Oh, cool! Do we need a new piece of paper for a new map, do you think? Actually, safe word question. Is this little... Like, I have this whole corner down here. Do we think this is enough space? Would you like to know the name of this area? Is it not some version of Norfair? Not enough space. Cool. Ooh. It is Norfair. Brilliant. And this first area is Brinstar, where we start, right? I will write that on here. I feel like, and maybe it's just because we have good practice, but this has been way easier to map than Metroid 2 so far. I might be wrong about not enough space, better safe than sorry. Yeah, that's smart. Brinstar map is nearby. Actually, I'll just put it underneath. Okay. Map cam. Let's start. I usually try to start in the center. We'll start a little bit closer to the top, though, because we know we came down from above. So we'll do a square here with a little elevator symbol. Yeah. And an E for elevator. And actually, I shouldn't close off the bottom of this square. I love 8-bit Norfair. I do too. I wonder how Tanaka feels about the fact that an orchestra performed his compositions for Smash. I wanna play Smash for 64, the only one that I own, again, now that I've actually played Metroid games. And I feel like I have a whole new appreciation for Samus and Smash, the only Smash I know. But it does kind of make me want to play, or at least watch people play, what, Melee, so I can see the stages and hear the music and stuff. And I'll be like, oh wow, it's so cool how they included that in the game. But I'm not gonna buy a $60 game for only the Metroid parts of it. And like never play it. I don't recall as a song used in any other games. Translation issues, we should use weird names like Brinstart and Northfest. Okay, yeah, we're gonna take our stream break since we are starting a new area. This is a good spot to pause. I will leave the Norfair music playing, and I'll see you all in a few minutes. Stretch if you need to, get a snack, get some water, all the things. See you soon. Hello humans, we're back. Rocking out to Norfair music. Let me do this. Hi, we can't see the game because that's the wrong setup. There we go. Music theory is quite the hodgepodge of some logical stuff and lots of illogical culture ideas. Good thing computer science didn't start out with hungry monks. Man. I imagine hungry computer nerds made some poor decisions that all comp sci people have to deal with now and forever. Yeah. That I remember I did music theory in high school. I did AP music theory senior year. There were 5 of us and it was great. It was so much fun. But learning about some of the things that are like, yeah, this is a like acceptable resolution to this chord because the monk said it was a long time ago. Derek forgot to refill the Pringles. I'm so upset. I guess let's go design 8086 CPU. Arrived for the end of BRB. Tunes, welcome in. Good timing. We back. Green hair. Yeah. Hey Loki, welcome in. It's good to see you. Here's our cosplay of the day. Only we don't match Samus yet because we need to get our green hair in the game before we completely match. Maybe that's our goal. Is that a reasonable goal for today? I don't know. Rigid music theory makes me need a glass of water. Let me get out of this screen because I don't like looking at this flashy bridge here. There we go. That was a risk that I jumped down. Green hair percent speedrun. Is that a thing? It's not... Well... I don't know, because you can't technically get this look in the first playthrough. You have to unlock it. Normally you have to unlock it. Anyway, it would be like a Varia suit percent. Do I need to do anything else before we kick off? I don't think so. Scoot my chair up, get comfy. Draw this room. Okay, we can go to the right or the left. I guess we're facing right, so let's do that first. Oh, lots of scary new enemies. Does this one only jump up and down, and then these other flamey things are scary looking? You recommend Reft or Light, got it. Those look like they would maybe be breakable, but they're not. Oh, that was weird. Oh, they don't take that many hits? Okay. Oh. Oh dear. These look like little clouds. Oh, I forgot to write Norfair at the top of this map. Can you read this? No. Norfair. Hooray. Platforms look like clouds. Yeah. They look hairy, like weird troll dolls. Hi, Samus. I was looking for Jen. Have you seen her anywhere? Hey, engineer. It's me, Jen. Dressed as Samus. Dressed as Justin Bailey. Hi. Okay, I need to make sure I draw this. It's going way far to the right. Oh, it moves so fast! And I don't think this is hurting you. Okay, good to know. So Samus was originally a redhead, or was this limited color palette? She has a lot of hair colors. I've heard, who was it that said Samus was originally a brunette? What's the logic behind that? Color palette limitations. Yeah, we're blonde, we're redhead, we've got green hair in this game. Is the normal game over screen when it's not Justin Bailey? Is that when we're brunette? I can't remember. Too many hair colors to keep track. Are these all crumble blocks here? Let's see. Let's find out. Okay, we're good. Aha. No! Lava hurts. Samus has more style than all of us. She has a lot of style. And I don't. Ooh, did we? Yeah, we saved at the top of the elevator. I think I want to stand on one of those. Oh, but they hurt you like in the second game. And I can't make that jump maybe, so I have to land on one. Okay, well, since we're probably gonna die, maybe we can science this out. Okay. Health. There's a chance that we regain some health. Sub 2 hour ending screen could be used as evidence for the natural hair color. Sub 2 hours. I feel like the playtime on this game varies widely. Ooh, that was close. Oh, did that actually hurt this one? It sounds like it is, but maybe it's just because of the door. Along those lines, green hair Luigi is pretty funny. I can't speak. Wait, hang on. Intended canon, but there's so much silliness that takes place when working with three colors. Transparency that can't assume much. Yeah. Let's do a new file for Norfair. Dang. Oh, let me also make sure that I do the map here. So this was a long hallway, and now We are in one of these, and I'm afraid this is gonna run up into the top of the map already, which is frustrating. We'll see. These colors are pretty, though. Go. No! Can I make that? I don't think so. Okay, so now we'll mark this with, like, high jump or something. Or ice. I feel like we don't need to be here this early. It feels early to be in Norfair. Oh dear. Go! Bravery! Oh, wrong button. Oh, we're gonna die. Oh, we've still got our E-tank. Oh, just kidding. That was silly. Okay, this came down here, and now we're going to the left. Ah! Oh, so many new things to be afraid of. Oh god, this was a mistake. I feel like I just want to nope out of Norfair. I don't think I need to be here right now. Unless there's an E-tank waiting for me. Everything's too tall. Ha! Major spin. Oh! What's this? Ooh, fun. Okay, hang on. Draw, 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 draw. Secret tunnel. Tall fair, yeah. Okay, nice. So many bubbles. And then we come out over here. I feel like I should draw something for this block of bubbles that we had to go through so I remember it. We can hide so many snacks in there, truly. Oh god, what is that? That reminds me of the thing in Zelda where you can throw fairy dust at it and it turns into, or powder at it and it turns into a fairy. I think we can kill those. I'm not gonna use missiles on that enemy yet when we still only have 5 and we need all 5 to open doors. Flawed logic. I mean, they're in more Zelda games than just Link's Awakening, but yes. They're a whole lot of fun. Oop, that was wrong. Oh, but I can't continue here without ice. Oh, bummer. Alright, we should nope out of here. Considering how bad missile drops can be, conserving is fine. Yeah. Oops. I feel like it's reasonable. Oops, oops, death. Okay, well, we said we were gonna nope out of here anyway. Beautiful. Oh, I can go all the way back to the other save if I want. That feels a little bit like cheating. Oh, but we have so little health. Wall jump, I know. I want to. I miss it. This is where we came in. Okay, sorry, I wanted to reorient myself. Ooh, no! Someone drop health! Oh, you listened. They never listen. Missile drops are the main challenge with speedrunning this game? Yeah. You could see it being a problem. I feel like we're playing jump rope with this section. Constantly jumping over that enemy. Oh god. No! Death. It was a valiant effort. Swimming in the lava. Do not recommend for anyone. Come on. Aha. Come back. No. That was close. Way too close. Aw, boo! Not worth it. No, I just messed it up. Okay, but that room's not that bad, actually. And now we made it back to the elevator room. Thought swimming in lava was the hot new thing? No, it's not a good idea, apparently. I can kill these enemies, they just take a lot of hits if I'm not using missiles. Nice. Let's save here. What is this? This looks like lava. It also kind of looks like a red door. Oh, little enemies jump out of it. It's good. Little enemies jump out of it. Or it's not enemies, it's just fireballs. Nice. More missiles! Dun, 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 dun. 10 whole missiles! Okay, now we have to save. Let me mark how this looks on the map. We got missiles, and then we're gonna keep going left. Popcorn maker, that is kind of what it looks like, right? No, I don't know how to get around them. But, oh. This doesn't even have a bombable spot. You just go right in. Now the 275 missiles in Dread feels like overkill. Maybe. Directional popcorn. Oh, I don't like this bit. We're not doing so well in Norfair. We're not faring so well. Now I'm stuck here. Ah! 1 health! I took the time to read how much health I had and I got hit. Okay, so... Oh, I feel like it's worth it to go over and at least see and explore and see if that way is blocked to us, right? I feel like Dread was sticking to more traditional missile count with without raw damage sponginess that merited it in the past. The missile count we know and love, but the bosses didn't require that kind of, yeah. Well, I thought it was so interesting, and I don't know enough about. I thought it was so interesting that there were enemies that gave you so many drops. Without going into spoiler territory, we were sitting there like, oh no, I'm gonna use all my missiles. Oh wait, actually, I'm gonna get like 10 more in a second here. Thought that was really different. Not trying to say good or bad, just that it seemed like a mismatch. Using 3 bombs on each singular block. There's a floating enemy to the left. Okay. Oh, this is where we died before! It just spit out 1 popcorn separate from the others. Oh, can I not get under those? Oh! I think I can jump down on that ledge and morph and be fine. It's annoying. ZDR has richer resources, yeah. Okay, this makes sense now. That's fine. Yes, good, good. Now don't go too far to the left. The popcorn will kill you. I don't know how you're supposed to time that to land right here, but then this guy sneaks in. Go, go, go! 1 health. Okay, this didn't give us anything. Through the bubbles, no pickups. New room is a tall way. I gotta draw it. Death by popcorn, yeah. How do these bubbles work, though? I don't think... I mean, we have 1 health. I guess I can try to see what else we can get to in this room. Oh, this is bad. Oh, no! Oh, we're gonna jump right into the enemy. Oh, we survived. How? These bubbles pop. They make me nervous. But there's one right below us. Let's jump on it. Ah! We'll get health at some point, right? Oh no, more popcorn! Is there another enemy in here that I can kill for health? No, only popcorn. Yeah, I don't like this descent one bit. No, I ruined it. I don't think this is a good strategy. I think the strategy is come back here later when we're stronger. Okay. We know... Yeah, I kind of want to leave. Let's come back to Norfair later. But I want to keep those missiles, so we have to survive getting out of this room. But it's not very far from the elevator. There's just lots of lava. Oh, and more popcorn. Great. The thing that caused us to lose so much health in the first place. God. We're never gonna get out of here. We have a save state at the elevator, but that, I mean, it's already cheating enough that we have so many of these. I feel like that's mega cheating. Oh god. Ugh. This is stupid. Using the password it gives you should grant you your missile back at the elevator. Oh, really? Yeah, let's try it. I didn't know that. I kind of gave up on the passwords because I didn't know if they were gonna be what we wanted. This screen, no, this does not work 8-bit. When we went through here, it took us all the way back to the beginning of Zero Mission. But I will take this password and try it out. Wait, why do these look... Do we have lowercase available to us now and we didn't before? And these are all zeros because they don't have the dot in the middle. Oops. Okay. Oh, you can't see anything. Gosh darn it. Lowercase was available on the password screen. Good of them to color code. Interesting. So we want to... What do we want to do, though? Just reset and reopen and use the password? Saving progress should put you at the start at Norfair with your missiles. I wish, but it didn't before. I don't trust it. I don't want to go back through... I mean, we have to go back through anyway. Through the main menu. And continue. And it's going to take us to Zero Mission. Oh, it didn't. Alright, well, it did earlier. I'll take the 30 health, I suppose. And then we can make a save state up here. Yeah, let's override this one. Because that one's cursed. Oh, I'm aware of the respawn, yeah. I'm well aware. I just, if we wanted to go back to the other save state, it has more health, I think, but it was only for an emergency. We got past that point. This room is also cursed. Can we go back to having 99 health? Maybe we will. Maybe that's not cheating. This game is evil. You're not allowed to have this many bugs coming at us from both directions. It's not cool. And shoot you until you spawn something and then you stop respawning. Or until you drop something, rather. So this was the room with the first missiles. Okay. Are you nicer? No, you're evil. God. I want my health back. When do we get our next E-tank? Rude, 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 rude. How did we get... whatever. So now we're on our old map. And we're in this hallway here. And we're trying to get over here now. Bug flew through the door. Oh, my first instance of getting hit while I'm in a door transition. Aww. Rite of passage. Aww. Jen's first. We got lucky it hadn't happened to us yet. I thought I would notice that it was happening, but I didn't even catch, like, the bug that was nearby the door when we went through it. Snaps picture! Thanks, number! We want to remember this. Oh, I walked right into that enemy. I deserve that. I think we want, yeah, we want to go to the left when we can. Brilliant. To the left, and then down, and then to the left. Oh dear. Oh god, too many enemies at once. Oh no. No. I should have saved. We can save with 11 health, which is a horrible idea. Kaiser, welcome in. How's it going? We're not really doing suitless. It's vanilla with Justin Bailey because of the cosplay today. But we're having a good time. Or are we? Oh no. Okay. No one drops health anymore. They all drop missiles. Oh, nice. I should keep saying that. Okay, no one drops health anymore. Meh. Beep, 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 beep. Sure, I'll grab it. Oh, shoot. That was close. I wasn't paying attention. Ah! I hate it. We are. Hey, Hunk, welcome in. We are using Justin Bailey, but we need to get our Varia suit so that it makes more sense for anybody that's not seen it. Oh well, that's what the command is for. Still, it's frustrating. I'm gonna fall. This puts me at... Okay, there's gonna be a hallway, and then we'll get to the room that I think we need bombs for. Right, not the Justin Bailey. We talked about it. I know it's not the actual one. It's vanilla. That's what I described when you... Never mind. You all know that I know. Oh, death. When did we save last? Ugh. I think at the start of when we came back out of Norfair. Yeah. How can I get... They give you so many refill rooms and they're all worthless. They're all just a dang nightmare. Like, am I better off just going in and out of this door and camping, the little spiky guys? And not farming. Not camping. Farming. The only reason I can tell is because your hair is green. Yeah. Only saying that to mean what you're doing is more impressive than Justin Bailey? Oh. I guess we could do like a command explaining this is the aesthetic only, but I don't care. If we were not humans, are we still invited here? Of course! How's it going, Joseph? Welcome. We, you know, we support fellow humans, we support anybody that wants to hang out in the channel. It's just sort of the gimmick of the channel. The human race, you know. Well, this isn't really a viable strategy, but it was fun. Oh, I know why it's too tall when we jump back up there now. That didn't make sense before, but now it does. We just needed a better way to do these tunnels, these tubes. Because they're annoying as heck. Metroid was such an early NES game, it's amazing. How amazing it was at the time, yeah. It's been fun. I appreciate it. It's not unplayable. It just takes getting used to. I guess the reason, like, if you don't have the time or the willpower or the patience to sit down and go, okay, I'm determined to get through some amount of this game, then it's just so unkind. But once you start getting used to it, it's okay. Just like Metroid 2 ended up being really fun. It's not unplayable. Jen's review. Well, people, and we talked at the beginning of the stream, people give this game so much grief and talk so bad on it. But it's from a different time. It's a classic. Oh, you know what I said we were gonna do today too was predictions. I'm gonna have to think about that. If we want to do that for Wednesday. I think we are probably gonna play this again on Wednesday. And then I think 2 streams is what I want to commit to dedicating. Because I'm really looking forward to Axiom Verge 2. I put it off for so long. It's so weird how little information I can find about what happens when beating the game under 2 hours. Huh, interesting. Oh, heading out to watch Eternals. Have fun, E-Blob. Thanks for hanging with us. Just, you know, don't die. Yeah. Human reporting. Thanks, Looney. This is one of the games that seems massively unfair at first. You know, and I'm doing save states. And we're drawing our map, or I should point up here. And it's made it enjoyable. It's made it manageable for me, Jen, and my comfort levels. Everyone's different. Here, we'll go ahead, speaking of saves, we'll go ahead and make one just because I don't want that other one. This one is the superior save state. Oops, I already forgot that you have to either morph or run away. It's one of those games that seems really hard at first, but then actually after you dive into a bit, it's not as bad once you start to adjust. Yeah. I think the more health you get, the more you're like, okay, I can handle this. Because when we went to that one hallway and we were saying, oh dang, we know this is like coming up on the statue room, we got through that and I started to feel like I could handle it. You recognize the different enemies and how they move different, just like any other Metroid game. And then you find refill rooms. And then the bugs stop giving you drops. I read the beams don't stack. I don't know how it works yet. Maybe don't. Let's not say until I get there, if I get there. Oh, is it like Metroid 2 though? Beams didn't stack in Metroid 2. And you had to go to the areas where they dropped. Oh, rude. I'm stuck. To get the beams that you wanted. Is there like a limited number of drops per room and we've exhausted our resources? It's possible. It certainly feels like it. Long beam stacks, but that's it. Oops. That was weird. Okay, well, I think we're gonna die. Drops are just wildly unpredictable. There is a limit of drops per room. It feels like it. We're not getting any. You had to pick up beams again to switch. And yeah, in Metroid 2, like, we drew a map for that one as well. And I didn't know it until much later, but I had to track like where everything was in case I wanted to go back to it. But there were multiple. So there was an area earlier on in the game where you got them for the first time, and then there was an area closer to end game where you could go through all the rooms next to each other and pick which one you wanted. But yeah, it was kind of weird. Oh, tricky. Rude, 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 rude. Everybody's rude. But we survived. And that's just... Isn't that just this hallway that we got through? Dang, this is brutal. Never mind, I don't know if I can commit to 2 streams of this game. Oh, we'll see. Select still toggles whether you're using missiles or not. But we only have 10 so far, so I'm not using them at all yet. Although, I guess I can use 5. I just want to have 5 on hand in case we run into any more of those doors. The drops or frame-based in order to make them somewhat random. Yeah. Oh, yeah. We knew that from Metroid 2 as well. And I've seen that before. Yeah, no shoulder buttons. Would there be any temptation to attempt Metroid 1.5, the Choose Your Own Adventure book? Oh my gosh, that sounds great. Wait, we still gotta play pinball too. The tower was great, given the beam swapping thing. Also, Ice Beam also being right before the Hive was brilliant. Yeah. Adventure book would be really fun. Super Metroid was a giant step up to the quality of life features. Definitely, definitely. We do want to go here. I'll probably save again. I have not played AM2R yet. No, not yet. I will. Eventually. And then we want to go down. We were here before. We can do this. We got a little tense before. Oh, look! Speedrunning strats. No. Well-deserved Metroid break, yeah. Yeah, we're gonna take a little bit of a Metroid break. And I'm almost afraid to play every single game in the series, because then it'll be like, well, we're done. We did them all. What do we do now? We gotta save some stuff for later. I think there will be replays in our future too. Revisits of things. You know. It's a classic. It's a staple here. Time to do all the Zeldas, I guess. There's so many Zeldas. It's part of what makes Super so brilliant, is that it's kind of a remake of Metroid 1. Like, was popular at the time, but also a successor to the story, yeah. Yeah, I definitely will enjoy AM2R when we get there. With super mods, it'll be tough to play them all, yeah. It pulls double duty, After the blind run comes the blindfolded run. Oh no. Will you be playing Unpacking Game? I want to, Number. I have the demo. I think I have the full game wishlisted. But I've been seeing people and hearing about people playing it. It looks really nice. I think it's sad too. It's got a really touching story. I can't remember, did you play Metroid as a kid? No, I didn't. These have all been my first experiences with them. Thanks for asking that, Loki, because I feel like we've talked about it before, but I sometimes have to remind people, or like, when people watch my Super Metroid playthrough, they go, what? Why isn't she doing this? And why isn't she doing this? I'm like, this is literally the first Metroid game I've ever played, okay? I didn't grow up with it, I'm sorry. Elias, hey, return of map cam. Indeed. Is it sad? Feels? I think feels. I don't think it's like a sad game. I think it's touching and you get connected to the characters, the people that you're learning about all the moves. Oh yeah, I have bombs. Oh, I hate these ceiling enemies. No! Oh, and I definitely do not have a space jump. I tried to space jump. It's fine. This room is where I was trying to go to. For so long. But now that we're here, I'm nervous. Let's kill these enemies first. Why aren't you doing all the things? Why aren't you doing it the same way as me? No apologizing allowed for having not played things before, right? It's okay. Yay! Science! Suspicions confirmed. Oop, rip. Can they not go all the way around that set of, bombable blocks? I don't know. We can lay eggs now, yeah. My time with competitive Melee taught me how much people take skills and knowledge for granted. They grind and grind for certain techniques and say it's easy. Yeah. People really do. I don't know, it's interesting, because you get to learn more about the game from hearing people say, oh, this is, you know, this is this cool technique. Like, oh, I wouldn't have known that. Thanks. But then you have people that get so mad that you mess up at all and take it so personally. Why would you ever do that? I'm like, did you get this perfectly the first time you ever played this game? That's amazing. I can't believe it. Wow, you should really start a YouTube channel if you don't have one already. Like, it takes so much to put yourself out there. Trav, how's it going? Welcome in. They forget how much effort it took initially. Yeah. Or like, I know not everybody is... There's varying levels of how quick you are to pick something up. So if you've seen it and you don't catch on quickly, I do get that to a degree of people getting like, why does she not get it on the second try or the third try or the fourth try? I don't know, because I just take a lot of repetition and I'm not pressed. I'm not pressed to do it right the second time right after I learn a technique. We progress gradually and we zen out and have a much better, like, psyche during the playthrough for my mental health. I was born with a controller in my hand and all game knowledge out of the womb. Wow. Thank you, Trav. I'm loving this cosplay. This wig is really comfortable compared to the other ones that we've worn. Samus is partially a bird, true. That plus streaming, yep. Ever sneeze so hard you see stars? No. Are you okay? Doing it perfectly the first time is like a monkey banging on a typewriter and getting the complete works of Shakespeare. I mean, I feel like a person needs to be streaming these games for their first playthrough to be able to criticize. It's just a whole... And the longer you've been streaming, the more talented and, like, direct you can be with, now I'm playing, now I'm chatting, now I'm not losing my train of thought in the game, now I'm not losing my train of thought with chat. Some people just... I don't know how they compartmentalize. They crush it. I forgot to draw my map, speaking of losing my train of thought. We've got a door over here available to us. Metroid tests many different skills. Everyone gets stuck on a dozen different things. Yeah. Anyone gets mad at YouTube playthrough is not worth listening. No, it's... Some of it's, like, completely fine. And people, like, love a vacuum they can scream into and want to give a review or a critique or their 2 cents. Like, everyone's opinion is valid. I just... The ones where it's people that take it so personal, like... Oh, that's the end. I don't know. I don't know what to say. Should start streaming stuff again. Yeah. The wig's amazing. Thank you. I love it. Makes me want to dye my hair green, honestly. Green's a really hard color to upkeep, though. Are you dehydrated? Yes. I need to drink more seltzer. I do not scream into my vacuum. There's a lot of dust and dog hair. Yeah, that might be unpleasant. You can give critique without getting upset. Exactly, yeah. Like, there was one comment not too long ago. Oh. Oh, this is exciting. Okay, I need to draw a little elevator symbol. Not too long ago, that was such a whirlwind, but they were so positive in the way they posed it, and they were like, I was so nervous that you weren't gonna do this and you weren't using missiles, but then you did, and you did this other thing. I don't know. And they were like, I wanted to scream at you, but it was really fun to watch. The dehydration wasn't... Oh, in response to seeing stars. LPs, how's it going? Some people want to see others who reflect themselves. It's a natural feeling, but going unacknowledged leads to stuff like that. I can only enjoy blind playthroughs. Other stuff is not for me. Maybe because first reactions and impressions are more interesting. Otherwise, I'd watch a review. While even nuclear, bright red, or orange would just stay forever. Yeah, the green is so different. The first time I played Metroid was at a store display. I kept shooting one of the flying guys for 3 minutes until an adult told me it wasn't gonna kill them. Aww. I dyed my hair green once and blue once. Each of those faded so dang fast in weird ways. I had purple before we did the blue for stream. And let me save too. The purple faded really fast. And the blue is not hair dye. It's overtone. It's the color conditioner. That's like the best colored hair ever, and it still fades. We get that nice silver when it fades. I like the color you get as it's fading better than the purple. Okay. Beat Zero mission the other day. It blew my mind that we got the first Metroid as a reward, right? Isn't that cool? This is it's pretty scary looking. Here we go. Purple fades for me to like a kind of muted pink-ish. Yeah, it depends on the brand. And I think it just didn't suit me. I didn't like how it looked on me, but I really liked how the silver looked on me. You can cheat and get the fade color sooner by mixing hair dye with conditioner. I actually did that. Yeah. For one of the times I re-dyed it. It's my favorite game. This is the Kraid song, right? We've heard this before. We like this song. Let's start a new map. Oh. This music starts playing. I guess I have to dance. Yeah, this is an excellent track. Number, are you gonna be dyeing your hair? If you do purple, that'd be really rad. Said it before, but I can very easily zone out to this theme. Fenris, I know you love this one. It's a good one to love. Okay, great. Let's do it. I'm gonna write Kraid at the top, but then I'm gonna try to start a little more in the center because last time we were already starting to run into problems. We're coming for you, Craig. The Kraid song or a Smash Melee stage based on this area is called Brinstar Depths. Cool. I like that. We'll just go... I think here should be good enough. There's a violin remix of this. Ooh. I think this makes more sense for us to be here than Norfair at this point in the game, right? I mean, it doesn't matter. It's a Metroidvania. You can go wherever you want to go. It's a Metroid. Right off the bat, we get a hallway down, and then a door left, and a missile door right. Bands, how's it going? Thanks for the good luck. We've got some things helping us. We've got map cam, and we're using save states. And dare I say I'm actually having fun. Ooh, until I get to this room with the evil unicorn bumblebee flying at me at the speed of light. Okay. No. Just no. Let's go down here. Ooh, more doors. Now will I have wished I started this map higher up? I don't know. Those are some good tools, yeah. Thanks for the lurk, I appreciate it. Hope you've been well. Brinstar still a bop, even OG Metroid. Yeah, the music, like, even just opening the starting screen, you're going, okay, yeah, I know this title music, this is great. I love this song, I can jam out to this. Zero Mission vindicated Melee's decision to give Kraid his Super Metroid size, and look, it's stage based on this area. That's cool. Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. Welcome in. So we've got 4 doors that I noped out of all 4 of them. Oh, this is gonna... And 2 more doors. It's kind of hard to tell, like, which ones are the doors since everything is just 1 square wide right now. Dang. What about this one? More bumblebees? Yeah, more bumblebees. Is this just a never-ending castle? Same room! Yeah. Everything's the same. Just discovered you on YouTube through Metroid Fusion playthrough, and the moment you had Chrono Trigger music as an alert, I knew I had to come follow you. Thank you, Amelia. Welcome in. Thanks for watching the YouTube... Oh, this is cute. Thanks for watching the YouTube videos. I appreciate it. It's been fun playing through everything. I don't know that I can damage this crab. It's stuck. We played... So I don't have Chrono Trigger on YouTube. I kind of wish I do. I kind of wish I don't. That was like way before I ever had the intro screen for... Oh, great. Well, we've made a choice. For the videos and before I did any kind of comprehensive editing or anything. But that was an amazing playthrough. And Chrono Cross and Chrono Trigger are two of my favorite games of all time. Look at this giant hallway. I assume this is a whole lot of memory compression going on with the reused rooms. We can't do this yet either. Curious, what prevents that? We will find out. Oh, I have to. Now I'm forced to go into a Bumblebee room. Evil. Can I make you come this way? I can shoot you. Why didn't I just shoot you? The song has part that sounds almost like phone vibrating. I was trying to figure out who's calling me. Oh no. No phone, just Kraid. That was horrible knockback. What the heck? Okay, leave that behind so I can sneak past. Ooh, everything does so much damage! It got me in the door. I saw that one as it was happening. Rip. Oh, okay. Well, now we are not soft lock stuck in the bottom. Yeah, brutal. And we can do one of those other Bumblebee rooms. Door slam to the face. Yeah, that was rough. I kind of feel like that's gotta be intentional though, right? Also, have I gone in any of the missile doors? Let's look at one of them. But it's gotta be intentional that if you fall to the bottom and you don't have whatever item yet, then it must be down there, right? Because if it wasn't down there and you did fall, you'd be stuck forever. That's an important room down there. Were there any other unfinished halls in the main area? Probably. But that feels like a leading question, and I'm not really looking for hints. There is a tallway that I think we need either high jump boots or ice beam to get through. There's the room where we got bombs, and it looks like we can keep going to the right afterwards. So maybe that's something I forgot. And then, I think that's it. Or maybe we needed a bomb to get through that. And I just never went back because I wanted to go down here instead. Making dinner, lost track. Oh, no worries. No, I mean, just wanted to clarify in case it was, but you're good. Jen's logic in old game would never be unfair. Wait, okay, so we know Super doesn't soft lock you that much, really. Like, all the times when you think you're trapped and you're stuck, you're not. It's leading you to the next part of the map. Most of the time in Super. I'm sure there's ways to lock it out. Is NEStroid different? Are there things I should be warned of? Like, I know that we found that one area where if you get stuck on the ledge, you're stuck forever. Anyway, while we're pondering that, what was I gonna do? I don't know. Let's bring our Crade map back. I guess just yes or no. Are there soft locks in this game? Which it seems like there are. You can answer that. Yeah, safe word. There are some. Okay. NEStroid won't only soft lock you, it'll come to your house and beat you up. I love it. This game has gusto. I tried to use the right bumper to change my weapon. It's not gonna work. Pathway-wise, not really, but there are a couple traps. Okay, something to be aware of. We're gonna try this door. Boop. Bumblebee attack! Oh, this is a mistake! This was a mistake! Death. Instant death. Sometimes death is the only escape. Just like that. We should do another save so I don't have to go down the elevator every time. But, you know, the elevator's nice. Death by cornbread, indeed. Let's just be brave. This song is very good. Oh, look at all that health! Whee! Should we save down here? Reject, select, embrace R for missiles. Thank you, Fusion. It's so good. I forgot how annoying selecting the missiles you wanted in Super was. I, like, blocked it out of my memory. I want this health! Oh, but at what cost? Is it just me, or is everything doing 50 times more damage now? I haven't been able to find anything, including even mention of the room with the statues. Genuinely seems difficult to find info on this game. This game, at least on NES, gives you insta-death option by using second controller, which I think is a specific statement toward allowing soft locks. Wait, how does that work? Crade was one of the first tunes I ever learned on piano, though I could never consistently play this section with the large run. Yeah. This would be fun to play. On NES, if you hit up plus A on second controller, you go to the game over. Oh, cool. Nice. Reminder, there are only 4 buttons in a D-pad. Yeah, I know. I take it back. I found someone's softlock percent where they try to softlock as fast as they can, and I suppose you can technically softlock in any room. Nice. Zelda NES has it too? I didn't know that. The second controller thing. Oh no. Kaiser, come back! I'm sorry, Streamlabs got you. It was probably just something that it thought was a link, and it wasn't, but I don't know. Oh, actually, that shouldn't have happened. Sorry. No, that's like a... Oh, I'll have to look at the bot language. Yeah, it is because of your word choice. You're fine. It's not programmed entirely intuitively, so... let's keep away from that word if we can. From the controller bringing us to the game over screen and killing ourselves with the second controller. If we can, I don't know. It's silly, but the bot will be mad, and I'll fix it after stream. Must suffer the lack of save files. Every child should be required to play this game for 6 hours before they get to play another video game or vote. Oh my gosh. The game is one of the stitched together by duct tape kind of games that allows you to get in the seams and break it open from the inside. I once got bopped for trying to spell out one of my cat's nicknames. Yeah. The controller sends you into oblivion. You know what else I didn't know, though? Or I didn't even have to think about before is, not that we're there yet, but YouTube monetization rules are way strict. And, like, we have one video, I've talked about it once before, Metroid Prime Episode 3 is flagged as adult content because we talk about, like, murdering space pirates. Yeah, exactly, Kaiser. It's fine. But your language is so heavily monitored on YouTube, and that's a 4-5 hour VOD. And they don't give you any timestamp. They just say this video has been flagged for not suitable for children. You have to be 18 plus to watch that video on YouTube. What? It's just Metroid Prime. I remember that, but it still made me choke on my coffee, low-key. Like, I'm not flagged on Twitch as a family-friendly channel. We're PG-13. I keep it mostly pretty family-friendly anyway. I personally don't swear a ton on stream, and I try to keep it that way just for, like, ease of filtering, censoring, whatever. Okay, preference. But YouTube is way stricter. Way stricter if you're gonna monetize things. So that video will forever be flagged. Unless I go back in and chop it to bits, and I'm not gonna do that. Flagged for phase-on use, right? You can't curse too much. I fear Metroid... I fear for Metroid Dread videos. A lot of F and SH words there. Yeah. And the algorithm for YouTube... I feel like we're just chatting at the moment. It's okay. The algorithm for YouTube it's very specific. It says you can't do it in the first, like, 5 minutes of the video. You can't do things immediately upon starting. You start dropping F-bombs, they'll flag it. Same thing with, like, they categorize their curse words, and they'll say this is, like, a light, this is a medium, and this is, like, a heavy. Like, that's not the words they use, but it's so specific. Magus, please. It's a perfect example the machine is not able to filter context of usage, exactly. Yeah, like, I don't know. I don't really feel like doing let's list all the swear words in the order that they are. If you're curious, I can link it in the Discord to the Streaming Topics channel at some point. But basically, they quantify everything. So if you use Oh, we're back. It's back. Hi. The, like, levels of people's internet speeds is so funny. You can tell who's got, like, the fastest internet because you tell me F first. Who said it first? Looney. No, Magus. Fastest internet. And then Austin, and then Trav. It's not a race, but you all having fast internet helps me realize the problem quicker. And then you see people being like, F. I'm like, yeah, we've been out for a couple seconds. Welcome back. So close to first! I would immediately see a problem, but my assumption is that it's a hiccup on my end. I know, I don't know how to, like... I'm glad that the stream doesn't die. We just get the not like this face and the blue and purple screen. I wish there was something on that screen that says, it's not you, it's me. Or it's Twitch. It freezes for more than 5 seconds. My router isn't doing the restart light show. It's probably not me. Fair. I reload stream before saying anything just in case. Yeah. Chat died. Oh, well. I was saying... I don't know. The curse word stuff is really specific. I was just talking more about that. Something more informative than not like this. Yeah. Would you... Okay, I have a safe word question. Because we've kind of been stuck here for a little bit. The way that the energy tank is interpreted, do we have only 48 health right now? It does seem like a good page to let us customize. I like that idea. Do we have 48 or 48 plus an E-tank? We only have 48, right? Yeah. Because we're dying instantly. So that square being empty is an empty one. I didn't pay better attention when it was full to what it looked like. Jen teaching me an innocent non-English native how to curse in her language. No, Jediac. Tangaika will be bright blue. Okay. Excellent. Which means I feel like we should farm for more health. Or do something other than exploring Kraid, because it's just not going well. We're not gonna make it. Everything keeps dropping missiles though. God, but I don't want to leave. The music is so good. Yeah, everything outside of Brinstar hits like a dump truck. Exactly, Magus. We'll leave. Here's our map of Kraid so far. I miss Brinstar. But now we're in a tough area because we're here. I believe. Let me write Kraid Ridley. Or Norfair, whatever. This is where I died a lot. Well, I feel okay about it then. Planting the idea if it's feeling like today might be the only stream, would it be worth considering direct towards Varia? Oh yeah! I like that suggestion. Is it gonna be in Kraid though? No. How does Varia work in NEStroid? Does it give you lava protection? Password invincible code. Oh, should we just put in the invincible code? Should we put in actual Justin Bailey? Wait, I'm misunderstanding, I think. Oh, half damage taken. Okay, great. Armor. Great, great, great. Should have asked for safe word confirmation. I think this game has been a lot gentler with safe word stuff because it's very... It's hard. It's a lot. It's unforgiving. I don't mind the extra help for most things. We're going up this tunnel. Whee! I'm nervous too that I don't want stream to cut out again, but we'll cross that bridge if and when we get to it. You played Zero Mission, you know most of this stuff, yeah. Or if I don't know it, it's something that we've talked about in a previous stream and I'm like, oh yeah, I remember that. I've gotten good at biting my tongue on backseating, but man, this game is hard, but I'm being brave. I appreciate it, 8-Bit. I know it's tough. I know it's really, really tough sometimes. It's just, you know, everybody wants to play it for the first time. You gotta let them. You know, you love it. Now I'm gonna go to the right. Oh, this room. Yonk, thank you so much for the prime. I appreciate it. Welcome to the human race. Enjoy your Earth Badger emotes, your ad reviewing. We're very glad to have you. Thanks, Yonk. Heck yeah. Directions toward Varia be desired. Currently looking at world map. Absolutely no worries if not. I kind of... Okay, we're 3.5 hours of stream. We've got a little time. I'm still not completely defeated. Would Varia be something we could get done? Safe word, you can answer this. We could get done today. Do you think? In like... I guess it depends on me though, right? In like a half hour to an hour. That seems really optimistic. I watched my third Bee and Puppy Dog episode. Nice. How are you liking it? The alert hits different now, doesn't it? So good. Every time I rewatch Bee and Puppy Cat, I'm like, oh weird, this is my alert. Or I've been watching we've been watching through a bunch of Adventure Time off stream, and oh my gosh, the number of times outside of the alert that Finn goes, yes! And I'm like, what? Did someone follow? Puppy Cat, yeah. What's the actual world record for this game? Does anyone know off the top of their head? It's 11 minutes. Wow. Wow. Okay, where am I? I'm in this hallway. I want to go... Oh no. Am I lost? No, I want to go up and to the right. Love the yes! Depends on the category, yeah. I don't know what I'm doing and it turns out the map alone isn't enough. Oh, okay. No worries, Austin. You run no major glitches. All bosses deathless. Nice. Need some follow bots. Yes! 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 Thank you for the follow. Thanks for supporting a fellow human. I appreciate it. Good timing. Spot on. Ooh. We lagged there. And I took damage. "11 minutes in, I'd be blowing in the cartridge and pushing my NES tray up and down." Yeah. Go. Ooh, we messed up that jump really bad. Any percent's like 11. Yeah, I would be asking about, I guess if it's like the... Well, I don't know. Some games, when we learned Ori, the reason I liked the category that I liked was because it wasn't just open the game in and out of the menu, do some weird stuff in the menu, and then, oh, rip. And then somehow you're at the boss fight. Because there are categories in Ori that it's just menu manipulation, and that didn't seem fun to learn for me. I wanted to actually play the game and learn some cool skips rather than menu manipulation. 9 minutes and 14 seconds is so fast. Had to hear it, but also hi Jen, hi chat. Wabbit, thanks for coming in. I'm glad you like the alert. Big Adventure Time fan. Some speedruns become too unrecognizable, yeah. Some of them, I mean, it's fun to watch streamers speedrun when it's become like gamification of it, where you have alerts and emotes for specific moments in the run, like memeable moments in the run, and are we gonna do this time? It's like the save the animals thing. Ooh, are we gonna save the animals on this run or not? I don't know, chat. Let's find out. I like watching it unfold, but the runs that are unrecognizable and there's no commentary because you're competing, so yeah, commentary is not that important. I just can't get into it. Prefer to play the category, mostly respects the way the game was intended to be played. Yeah, to each their own. Yeah, this playthrough will likely not be in the world record leaderboard, I'm sorry to say. Oh no, how dare Amelia. You crushed my dreams. That's not what we're aiming for. Clearly, obviously. What are we aiming for? I don't know. As far as I can get without losing my mind or getting way too mad. And still feel like I'm having fun. That's my goal. Fun percent run. Oops. To me, speedrunning Pokemon, where you glitch to skip basically the entire game, doesn't count. Figured a route for Varia suit. Ooh, nice. I saw this one Super Metroid randomizer speedrun where Twitch viewers could pay to a plugin that could turn abilities on and off. Yeah, we did that for, not speedrunning, but we did it for Hollow Knight randomizer for my birthday last year, where you all could affect my sprite and give me items and not give me items. It's, crowd control is really common for, like, charity stuff. And Hollow Knight has its own... Sorry. Yeah, this is what I want. Its own special program for it, but a lot of games have a better, like, crowd control. How to explain? Crowd control already has like a million features built into it. Hollow Knight is its own programming thing that someone made because they're smart and wanted to make their own. We're gonna die. No. I don't want to die here. I want to bomb this block. We came all this way. Oh, nice. I've seen pipes like this before. Oh, that will... Okay. Very glad Zero Mission got made, yeah. There's so many enemies over here bothering me now. Explode! Nope, I can't shoot that. Go, 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 go! Chozo statue. No. Keep my hopes up for an eventual randomized fusion run. Yeah. Link to the Past. Yeah, the Link to the Past crowd control is the one that I see the most. It's such a rough game, yeah. To that effect, it was fun watching someone's first normal playthrough of Final Fantasy VII, despite them having previously speedrun the game in the past. Turns out 3-hour run of Final Fantasy VII doesn't contain much of the plot. No! Like the new Chrono Trigger randomizer, that's cool. Must have been sometime in the 80s where our standard for video games isn't as high as it is now. It's the tech limitations. And you wanted, if you wanted hours of playtime, you had to make the game really hard. What's the maximum fun anyone ever achieved on this? Good question. I was thinking about, so my birthday's in December, and I've been trying to think about if I want to do something for stream and what I would want to do. Because last year we had a longer stream and we did Hollow Knight randomizer and, I don't know, a bunch of chatting and stuff. I was thinking if I would want to do like super randomizer again, but I also don't know if I'm gonna be able to stream exactly on my birthday because I might be traveling. Oh, finally. Oh, this is brutal. Oh, we're gonna die. You can't just run away from enemies in this game. They trap you in narrow hallways. Fellow December birthday. Nice. I'm one of those awkward born between the time period. I mean, in the time period between Christmas and New Year's babies. Capricorn, all the way. I've watched some Jets Wings of Time races, but I'm still partial to Final Fantasy IV rando. Yeah. Never done any randomizers other than Pokemon. Maybe I'll try it someday. I haven't done one in a long time. I used to do the Hollow Knight one a lot. Okay. This is not going well. What if we do Hollow Knight, make it a tradition? We could. It was really fun. And there's some really, like, we do the custom sprite, and there's some cute clips of the knight moonwalking through Green Path because someone unlocked walk backwards or whatever. I think I'm losing steam. Here, let's oh, thank you for the host. I appreciate it. Let's do a quick reload so we get music back. But I definitely feel like I'm losing steam on this. I might need to reinvigorate my willpower to get through NEStroid for next stream. I remember an old interview of Satoru Iwata, and they asked him why a game he developed, Balloon Fight, was so hard. He said back in the day the developers were also testers, and when they played their own games they thought this is too easy and went to modify the game in order to make it more challenging. The guy doing the interview was like, what? No! What about randomizer puts Zero Mission, Samus Returns, Super, and Fusion together and you switch between each game? We've been talking about, I mean, that sounds really cool. We were talking about, which combo were we talking about? Link's Awakening and what? Like SMZ3, but what would it be called? M4Z4? Hey Power, how's it going? No, we weren't. We were, okay, I should give better context. We were talking about SMZ3, but then we were trying to think what the next logical step would be after that. M2Z4? Yeah. But, I mean, same idea. Yeah, that's what led us there. I miss Iwata, what a legend of a human being. Let's... Here, I'm gonna... What music do we want? We want the Kraid music, so let's go down to Kraid just so we can get the music, because I don't have a save. We went a long way without saving. Minish Cap and Fusion? Would be cool. Can we do anything to invigorate your NEStroid energy? I mean, I think I am gonna come back with it on Wednesday, because this was fun, and I feel bad leaving it off in such an awkward spot. I would really like to get the dang Varia suit. Can we put in the actual Justin Bailey password? Is it just all caps Justin Bailey? I don't even know how it works. So we can at least match for like the screenshot of it, and then we can wrap up for today. We'll come back on Wednesday. We could just try out the upgraded stuff when we come back and be way overpowered. Various suits are endgame. Okay, and a bunch of dashes. Gotcha. Hyphens. Skyward Sword and other M when. Oh, Breath of the Wild and Dread. Cool. Let's do that. I love this music. Let me just reset real quick. I'm gonna write down save 5 too, so I don't forget. Zero Mission is too powerful. Is it gonna let me? Because you can do continue and then whatever password you put in, it doesn't matter. Maybe we should have just done this anyways to begin with. And made it easier. Unlimited save slots. I know, it took me a second though. I'm not used to it. I never played any password games. I still haven't found it. It's somewhere in the streaming closet. My brother had, we have the manual for Mega Man X. I didn't play it. He did Jetty X, and he wrote all his passwords in the little note section in the back of the manual, and we still have it. Green hair, green hair, green hair! Yay! Now we actually match, finally! I need to get myself an arm cannon for this. Like I said, we just went with green nails. I didn't have time to do the arm cannon. We did it! We put in a password! 255! Look at all that energy. I want to play this game like this now. So where does this start you at in terms of goals for the playthrough? It just kicks you into Norfair right away? You get to skip all of Brinstar? Both bosses are still alive? Okay. Nice. Do we have ice missiles? I guess shooting into the wall isn't a very good way to test that, huh? Even if you had a green arm cannon, it'd make it hard to use a controller. Well, yes, but for the pictures. And I was thinking of doing like a green glove or something. That could be kind of cool. Oh, the bosses are dead. Okay, well. Our jump sounds cool. Our beam looks cool. Do we have power bombs? They sell an official Metroid arm cannon prop. That's pretty neat. Ice missiles were first introduced in Fusion because of the plot. Oh, so then... I don't know... Alright, I don't want to spoil too much because, if we do continue, I don't want to be like, oh, what items do we get later on? You know, ability-wise, it's gonna be like Metroid 2. Okay, perfect. We look so cool. We gotta find the Varia suit.